A very good morning from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International, Mumbai's Terminal 2. This morning I'm flying to Chennai on Air India's brand new Airbus A350-900 in business class. I'm actually taking two flights on the Air India A350-900. The first one to Chennai in business class and the second one from Chennai to Hyderabad in premium economy class, just to get an idea of the onboard product and service on this new aircraft. It's just about 7:30 a.m. in the morning and I have about 2.5 hours to go before my flight. So let's head inside the terminal. Our flight today will take us from Mumbai on the west coast down to Chennai on the east coast, covering a distance of 642 miles or 1033 kilometers for those of us that can relate better to the metric system. Mumbai's Terminal 2 is spectacular, both inside and outside, and I cannot help but admire its architecture every time I fly through here. Air India has a dedicated row for business and premium economy check-in, and there were absolutely no crowds here. So I'm checked in all the way to Chennai and I have my boarding pass and lounge invite, so let's head to the lounge. There is a separate security check entrance for domestic first and business class passengers, and the security check was completed in no time at all. Terminal 2 is massive and does not feel claustrophobic or crowded at all due to its design and layout. Incidentally, this was my first time flying on a domestic flight from the new Terminal 2, although I have flown international quite a bit. The Central Departures Concourse looks like a high-end shopping mall with branded stores, displays, restaurants and food courts. Terminal 2 uses the Adani shared lounge for its premium passengers. I have never used the domestic version of this lounge, but the international lounge is quite good. As I approached the main entrance of the Adani lounge, I could see a long queue of folks waiting to enter the lounge using their credit cards. Thankfully, an agent there noticed my AI lounge invite and ushered me to a back door. Imagine business class passengers entering a lounge through a back door. Haha. There was no queue at the back door, thankfully, and I was able to find a seat easily. The lounge has a separate small section for business class passengers that is connected to the main lounge. The main lounge, of course, is huge and pretty similar in layout to the Adani International Lounge. There's also a full-fledged bar offering a selection of beers, wines and spirits. Since it was still early morning, I just walked right past it. Maybe next time. Hello from the Adani Domestic Lounge at Terminal 2. I've just finished my security check and arrived at this lounge. Our aircraft today to Chennai is arriving from Bangalore in the next 30 minutes, so I'm going to grab a quick bite here. Speaking about grabbing a bite, the breakfast buffet at the business class section has a huge variety of mostly Indian and some Western hot breakfast items. Love the steaming hot idlis and piping hot sambar. There's a good selection of beverages as well as tea, coffee and desserts. Soon I could see our aircraft arriving from Bangalore. The Air India A350 looks quite stunning, although I'm still getting used to the new livery. Change is always difficult, isn't it? Anyway, it was almost time to board and I started the long walk to my gate. One drawback of Terminal 2 is that the gates are a fair distance away from the shopping and dining areas. My flight to Chennai today departs from gate 53, which is a good 8 to 10 minutes walk away from the lounge. And here is my ride today, Air India's brand new Airbus A350-900 VTJRA. This aircraft is currently only flying on domestic routes for the time being. Boarding had already commenced when I reached the gate and I made my way to the aircraft as excited as a child about to get a new toy. There was no queue at the business class aero bridge and I quickly made my way to the aircraft. At the door, I was greeted by the cabin crew and one of them took my passport and boarding pass and escorted me to my suite 6K.
Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you.
This will be your seat.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure to have you on board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Air India Airbus A350s have a large business class cabin at the front, followed by a galley and the premium economy cabin behind it. Behind the premium economy cabin are two economy cabins with a 333 seating configuration. Coming back to the business cabin, the layout is in a 1-to-1 configuration, with each seat having its own aisle access and a sliding door for privacy. The seats in the center alternate between being close to each other or by the aisle. You can select the former if you're traveling with a companion, or the latter if you had a fight with them. The window seats alternate between being closer to the aisle or closer to the window. I'm seated in 6K today, which is closer to the window. As soon as I settled down in my seat, the crew offered me a choice of welcome drinks. I chose a glass of orange juice and some water. Hello from seat 6K on board Air India's Airbus A350-900. This is Air India's first A350 VTJRA, and I'm really excited to be on board. Hot towels were handed out by the crew as we waited for the last remaining passengers to board. The crew also handed out menus for this flight, featuring a breakfast service. There were 4 main course choices on this hour-and-a-half long flight, which is quite impressive. I was spoiled for choice and decided to go for the light option, as I had just eaten in the lounge a short while ago. There is a bunch of accompaniments served with the main course as well as hot and cold beverages. All in all, a pretty generous spread for such a short flight. Here's the view out of my window today, our starboard side Rolls-Royce Trent XWB engine. So the initial impressions have been great. This still feels and smells like a brand new aircraft, although it's been in service for over a month or so. The crew has handed out menus, and one of the cabin crew just took my breakfast order. I ordered for buttermilk pancakes, which is a light option, and he very kindly asked me if I wanted something else. So I'm going to have the buttermilk pancakes first, and then see if I need more food. But yeah, overall positive impression so far. While we wait for pushback, let's do a quick seat, or shall I say suite review. There's a massive IFE screen in front of you, which I shall take a look at later. On my left is a table and storage area. The headphone connector and a universal power plug as well as a USB charging port are located here. The storage area is quite neat, with plenty of space to store your wallet, phone, and even a small handbag. There's also a vanity mirror inside the door. A small reading light is conveniently located next to your headrest. The seat itself is quite good. Not too narrow unlike certain business class seats I've seen, and the head and backrest are quite wide too. There's also a small enclosed storage cabinet to hang your jacket with a built-in light. Pretty useful. The suite also has a door for privacy, which I will show you later, as it's now time for the safety demonstration. Soon the brand new Air India safety video was played on the IFE screen. The safety video is truly eye-catching and showcases the rich variety of traditional Indian dance forms. We commenced our pushback, and one by one our Rolls-Royce Trent engines came to life. While some folks may find the video a bit long and distracting, I personally think the content and presentation is quite tastefully done and effective. So we pushed back a few minutes ago and powered up our engines. I noticed that we were waiting on the apron for some time, and then the engines were powered down. We've been sitting on the apron with engines powered down for about 10 minutes now. I hope it's not a serious tech issue. Thankfully, the issue was resolved and we were on our way. Phew. After takeoff, we banked left and set course in a southeasterly direction towards Chennai. Alright, so we've just taken off from Mumbai after a delay of a few minutes due to a technical issue. Let's do a quick loo review. The bathroom on this aircraft was pretty standard, nothing spectacular, although it was kept quite clean. As for amenities, there was only hand wash liquid, mouthwash, and some air freshener and sanitizer. Quite understandable since this is only a short domestic flight. The Air India A350s have electronic blinds in business class. There are two different types of blinds, as you can see. Continuing with the suite review, the seat control buttons are located on the edge of the table next to you, and the design of these means that you can inadvertently press these buttons with your arm or elbow. That's my only criticism of the seat. There's a nice lamp with adjustable brightness settings next to the storage cabinet. And the highlight of the suite is this sliding privacy door. Once closed, you have your own little cocoon and shut the rest of the cabin away. The tray table comes out from below the IFE screen and can be pulled out like this. The table has a nice wood panel design and is quite sturdy. Breakfast was soon served and I was amazed at the variety and presentation. I had opted for the light option that consisted of buttermilk pancakes, which was served with a croissant, some cut fruits, yogurt, and a glass of mango smoothie. And this is a domestic flight, if you remember. The cabin crew even shot this video of me admiring the food. So the breakfast on this flight is delicious. I had opted for the light option, which was buttermilk pancakes, and it was hardly light. It was very, very filling and absolutely delicious. So good job, Air India. Let's now explore the IFE on this brand new aircraft. The IFE screen is massive and is quite bright as well as sharp. The screen can be controlled by a wired remote controller which has its own little touchscreen. As I explored the IFE, the cabin crew brought me a cup of hot masala chai with some cookies. Perfect. The remote controller is easy to use and the touchscreen is quite responsive. This is quite useful considering how far the main screen is from you. The selection of movies on the IFE system is quite limited and is nowhere close to the offerings on, say, SQ, Turkish or Emirates. This is one area that Air India needs to drastically improve as it begins its transformation into a world-class airline. There's also a bunch of TV shows, both Western and Indian, as well as a dedicated kids section. The audio section is quite decent with music from a variety of genres available. The Air India A350s feature the Panasonic ARC in-flight maps and information system. The system is quite modern and offers a variety of information about your flight, including your current location, which I really liked. You can also choose from a bunch of different views to track your aircraft as it moves above the map. I like this chase cam view as it shows the cities you're about to pass over. Like I mentioned before, the IFE screen has some nice contrast and resolution, and it would be a joy to watch a movie or two on the screen. The seat turns into a full flat bed at the touch of a button. The entire process takes just under 30 seconds. As you can see, the bed is decently wide and sufficiently long for this kind of seating configuration. So the seat is now in the fully reclined position and it's turned into a flat bed. It's decently wide, does not restrict you that much. There's also plenty of leg room, enough room to move your feet around. So all in all, it looks like a really comfortable business class flat bed. This would be very helpful on ultra long haul flights to the US. We soon commenced our descent into Chennai and the captain made an interesting announcement.
At this time, we are crossing the temple town of Tirupati. Passengers seated on the left-hand side of the aircraft can have an area view. The visibility is quite clear, and the Tirumala Hills is quite clearly visible. Enjoy the view. We should be able to land in Chennai in approximately 20 minutes from now. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day ahead.
As we continue our descent into Chennai, let me quickly summarize my views on the Air India A350. This is a game-changing product for Air India and is miles ahead of their current offerings. The interiors are comparable to the best airlines in the world and will allow Air India to compete with the global giants as it seeks to reclaim its past glory. The airline now needs to ensure that its maintenance is top-notch and the onboard service evolves and keeps pace with the competition. If it can get this right, there's no stopping this airline.
प्रदान करते हुए खुशी है। चेन्नई के कामराज अंतर्देशीय हवाई अड्डे टर्मिनल 4 पर आपका स्वागत करते हैं। बाहर का तापमान आपकी जानकारी के लिए 34 डिग्री सेल्सियस है। चेन्नई में हम 1 घंटा और 15 मिनट रुकेंगे। बेंगलुरु जाने वाले अतिथियों से निवेदन है कि वे विमान में अपनी निर्धारित सीट पर ही बैठे रहें। चेन्नई में उतरने वाले अतिथि एयर इंडिया नेटवर्क और पार्टनर एयरलाइंस से आगे जाने वाले ग्राउंड स्टाफ को या ट्रांसफर डेस्क पर संपर्क करें।
Welcome to Chennai. It was an amazing flight on board Air India's brand new Airbus A350-900. The onboard product is fantastic and the crew was simply great. I really enjoyed this flight. Hope you enjoyed this review of my flight from Mumbai as well. See you again on my next flight. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the flight. Thank you.